Hi everyone, it's Casey. How are you doing? I am back from BlytheCon in LA and it was crazy. I'm hoping to have a video of some of the clips that I took from BlytheCon up, but to be completely honest, as much as I had planned to make a comprehensive video of the weekend, I was just swamped during the show and just the entire time. So unfortunately I didn't really get much of the show, so I don't know that I'll turn it into a video, but we'll see. During this time of year, I always want to do projects for the holidays. I had planned to take lots of Halloween things to BlytheCon. I did have some things, but nothing that I had made. I had bought these blank hat forms, so they're like cardboard, so they're brown, at Hobby Lobby, and I just knew they would fit Blythe perfectly, which they do. So I wanted to kind of just for fun today, just to get in the holiday spirit, show you how I made this hat. I might have it for sale in my shop before the holiday, but we'll see. My camera just ran out of batteries when I was trying to take photos, and I have a lot of other things to get listed, so I'm not sure. But I thought I would show you how I made it in case you want to make your own. And just a little disclaimer, one of the reasons I haven't been making videos lately is because there is construction going on right outside my window all through the week. And then of course on the weekends I have my son, so he is here and he might come in here to investigate what is going on. So just so you know, this little dress will be for sale in my shop with the tights. Hopefully this week I will have some holiday themed things in the shop. So for the hat, I'm basically just going to show you how I made this one, and you can improvise or change it based on whatever you like. The hat form looks like this. I've already painted it black, as you can see, so it starts out, like I said, as cardboard. I just painted it with one coat of black. If you were going to leave it without embellishing it, I'd paint it again because you can see some of the cardboard, but because we're going to embellish it so much, it's really not super necessary. So you need this. I don't remember how much they were. I don't think they were expensive. So paint that black. That's your first step. And then I also found these at Hobby Lobby, and I believe they're bracelets or hair bands, and I thought it would work really well to go right over the top of the hat, which it did. So one of these also, or something similar, you could easily make something out of ribbons. And then you're going to want to print out some graphics on paper. I did pumpkins, house, or bats. You could do anything that you like. You'll need some scissors, a brush, some glue or hot scotch, of course the black paint, and then I have a little water that I'm going to water down the glue and the paint later on. So that's basically all you're going to need. And after painting your hat and letting it dry, you're going to cut out all of your graphics. So let's do that. Okay, so once you have all your pieces cut out, you're going to glue them onto the hat. So I'm just going to show you what I did on mine. Again, if you want to not do pumpkins, if you want to do like vines or ghosts or something like that, you definitely can do it different. But the way I did mine was I did the house first so that the pumpkin patch could go all the way around. And then I just used regular Elmer's glue. You could probably use Hodge Podge, whatever works for you, but just make sure you get the corners of everything really good. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit messy because we're going to go over it later and sort of give it an aged look anyway. So let's just glue on all of our pieces where we want them. Once you have glued all of your pieces on, you're going to sort of make a glue solution, and if you have Hodgepodge you can just use that, but I don't, so I'm just going to put some Elmer's glue and a little bit of water with a little bit of black paint. You don't really need a lot. This is just regular acrylic paint. Just a little bit, and then mix it up until it's just kind of a gluey black substance. Now you're not going to want to use a lot, like a very wet brush, so get your brush wet and kind of, even if you have a cloth, or just kind of get it off on the side of the cup. You're going to paint over your pieces. This will do two things. One, it's going to hold them down, and two, it's going to kind of give them an aged look. You don't want to get them too wet, which is why I said you want to tap off your brush or even put it on a cloth, just because you don't want to ruin the paper, you just want to make it look aged. And then you're going to want to set it aside and let it dry before you put any embellishment on it. So I'm going to gather a couple things for that, and we'll let it dry and come back and finish it. So once your hat has dried, you're going to want to embellish it. So this is some stuff that I got at the dollar store last year. It's just some black netting. It kind of goes on tables or hanging or whatever. So that's what I embellished mine with. You also could probably use some of that spider web stuff and pull it down on there. That would be probably really cool too. But I'm going to do the black, maybe even some of the spider web. Let's see if we can cut a piece of it, because it does look really cool when you stretch it over it. So maybe we'll do some of that and the black. Might look cool, or I don't know if that's too much. Let's see. Maybe a little too much. So you'll have to decide what you like. I really like the black stuff, but the spider web does look cool too. So anyway, this stuff comes apart really easily, so I just kind of put it on and sort of ripped it around and let it dangle off the sides, and then trimmed it. So you can always trim it more, so give yourself a little bit extra hanging down so that you can always trim it more if you want. It is kind of messy, but sort of like that. You can see it hanging off the edges, which you can kind of fix up later. So the reason I like it is it's super easy. You just put it on like that. And once you have this the way that you want it, you're going to use this that I showed you in the beginning, this little bracelet or hair tie, to hold it on to go down over it as well as embellish it. So the only problem is these don't stay down, so you will have to sew it on. So as you can see in the other one, I have made some stitches just to hold that hair tie down lower. So all you need to do that is get some black, I would suggest upholstery thread, not regular thread, because it will break very easily. So get yourself a long piece of heavy duty thread, and you don't have to be good at sewing to do this. It's pretty basic. But the only other thing is you will need a pretty sturdy large needle for it to be able to push through that cardboard. So I have a couple doll needles, really long ones, and I believe this is the one I used. So I'll just show you how to sew that down. So the hardest part really is just getting it going. Once you are doing it and get a couple stitches in, it will stay. So just make sure you have the headband bracelet where you want it, and then you're just going to start from the back and push through and just stitch it down. You know, you don't have to do it perfectly. I would just do a few. It's really just to hold it on in the place that you want it, and move along. Once you get all the way back around, you're going to want to tie it off. You can tie off your thread by making a knot in the headband or anywhere that you're able to make a knot so that it stays secure and doesn't unravel. And once you're done, you can kind of pull on your black stuff, maybe pull some of it out and higher up around the top of the hat, and then mess with it until you like it. It might be ever changing, and let it all dangle. You also can embellish with, say, plastic spiders and maybe pieces of the spider web that we had earlier. Maybe like that, mess around with it a little bit. And there you go, a witch hat for your Blythe doll. If you're interested in one of these hats and you don't want to make your own, check my shop out. I'm hoping to list them before the holiday so that they'll ship in time. I also will have some costumes, and I think I have a couple witch dresses left that can go with the hats. So head on over to Etsy if you don't want to make your own, or if you want to get some accessories before the holiday. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a happy holiday, happy Halloween. Bye.